hamburgers, french fries, ice cream, the list of unhealthy food goes on. Obesity in general has become a big issue in America with obese children. That like percentage of obese children has come to rise every single year in the last 40 years, with 1 in 5 children being obese. Extra weight gain is caused from consuming more beverages and foods than your body needs to function. And many different guidelines all around the internet or different guidelines and magazines have posted about how to balance food diets and like what kind of foods are best to feed your children. Obesity comes from a few different factors, which include your genetics, your metabolism, how slow or fast your metabolism is able to process the food that you eat, that amount of physical exercise, and that's super important, as well as the type of food that you eat, whether it's fast food, or if it's healthier options like healthier organic produce. There are so many risks involved with being obese as a child, and one thing that is noted in many articles written around the internet is that being obese as a child, it's easier to let that slip into an adulthood as well. So it's easier to be obese as an adult as well, and it's harder to get down from being obese as an adult as it is when you're a child. There are many risks involved with being obese as a child, and it's very scary for families and parents. The first risk is that you have lots of breathing problems. The second one is you tend to have joint problems and musculoskeletal discomfort. The third one is you have risk of getting diabetes as well as insulin, glucose intolerance. Sorry. And then you have the risk of getting diseases such as cardiovascular disease and fatty liver disease. And just to conclude with the risk factors, you have higher risk of getting, high cholesterol, as well as your blood pressure continuing to go up. And if you're obese as a child, again, it's easier just to slip into adulthood and become obese as well. And it's a serious issue to handle. And then an article written by justamericahealth.org, they did a study of different age groups. And what really stood out to me was the high school age group. And the number of obese high school kids continues to rise according to the Youth Risk Behavioral Surveillance System. And it's shown that 13.9% of high school students were obese, and unfortunately 16.0% were overweight. And the cause of this is similar to that of the younger children, except at this age, it's extremely important to get exercise, and it's so prime and important for your body. But in that same study, the Youth Risk Behavior Surveillance System in 2015 revealed that more than 40% of students use a computer for enjoyment outside of school and work instead of going outside and exercising and helping better their body, right? And they do that more than 4 hours a day instead of going outside. And every single year, that number continues to rise as our nation continues to grow technology-wise. And not only is like that a problem, but fast food is an extreme problem and an extreme factor in becoming obese as an adult and as a child as well. And it's been reported that there are more than 500,000 fast food restaurants in all of America. And you see it on every kind of corner of your street. You see it everywhere you go. It's so accessible and it's cheap and easy for people and convenient. Fast food and eating out leads to a lot of calorie intake and increases the risk of obesity. Fast food is high in many different things, such as it's high in calories, high in fat, in sodium, high in trans and saturated fats. And fast food has proven to have a worse effect on children than it has on adults, which is extremely scary and dangerous, right? In an article written by April LaCour, she mentioned that children with a sustained excess energy imbalance intake of approximately 2% result in the development of obesity over time. In an extremely important movement that was started by Michelle Obama on February 9th, 2010, she started the Let's Move campaign. That was a movement to help encourage healthier foods in schools and better physical activity for children. In a statement given by Miss Obama, she said, "In the end, as First Lady, this isn't just a policy issue for me. This is a passion. This is my mission. I am determined to work with folks across the country to change the way a generation of kids think about food and nutrition." And with the number of children rising that are becoming obese, it's time for someone to take a stand and to fight for this cause, because it is a problem. And given by the statistics and all the articles, it is an issue, and not a lot of people are doing a lot about it. But I really liked reading and learning more about what Michelle Obama did in her movement. She wanted to help carve a better path for choices, as well as making sure kids and families have a better access to healthier food. There are 5 pillars in her movement to a healthier life for kids that she focused most on her campaign. The first pillar was creating a healthy start for children. The second was empowering caregivers and parents. The third one was affordable foods, and improving, the access to healthy and affordable foods. The last one was increasing the physical activity. And for the 2 terms that her husband was president, she worked hard on implementing better food choices in schools and exercises for every day and for everybody in everyday life. With help like hers, the number of obese children will likely decrease, making the consequences less likely to appear, and the fear of losing a child young or the fear of consequences of being obese can be eliminated. And it's so easy to work hard, and just like Michelle Obama's movement, the Let's Move movement, it's easy to kind of, look at the healthier food choices, and there are so many different ways to become active and just to kind of decrease the risk of becoming obese, because there's so many risk factors included in that, and it's just sad to have all those problems and risk factors, especially when you're a child. And obesity in children is so common and it continues to rise. But if we continue to work hard, like Michelle Obama, we're able to kind of move forward in our world and be able to kind of put a stop to how many children are becoming obese. Thank you.